All right, so let's get to the third part. Now we go deep into what actually creates engagement. Let's talk about the LinkedIn algorithm for a moment. So this is a graphic posted by LinkedIninsights.com, which is a great resource to learn more about LinkedIn and the algorithm. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you can, if you have downloaded the slides, you can just click on the picture or on the link and it will direct you to the OG source of it. We have to think about and explain why his most popular post was one with a link in it. Even he got downgraded. So the basic LinkedIn loop works like this. You create a piece of content and publish it. Then it gets an immediate quality score based on what LinkedIn can read from the images, document, text that you put in there, the people you tagged. If there is no red flags, you can continue displaying this. And then they watch and monitor the likes and shares and comments and views on your content. And if it's all right, yeah, they give you like a virality classification, then it keeps playing it if everything is fine. That is the basic loop that happens. And as long, especially this monitoring, gets signals like likes, which we'll talk about in a second, this post will continue living as long as there is engagement. There is always something like a decay factor. That means older posts get less visibility, the same as on Facebook. But the decay factor on LinkedIn is not as rough as on Facebook. This is why you will see that your post will live on for days and weeks sometimes. Yeah, I guess this was the case with your post as well.
It lived on for weeks.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that is one of the bigger differences, but also one of the things that might change on LinkedIn on us. Yeah, and the decay rate goes way higher. Yeah, and our posts die quicker. And this is why we need to seize this time right now to get our presence on LinkedIn, to stake the claim, to find the treasure, because later it's going to be much harder to get there. So, but what happens if you get flagged for anything, like an external link, or curse words, or any other factors that LinkedIn might not like? You create content, it gets a bad quality score. That triggers the is content good? If no, it can be completely filtered and reported to the quality control. And that hurts you. And you always have to make sure that you don't get a bad quality score. For example, if you notice that you have post types that just do not perform for you, that have low engagement rates, don't keep posting those ideas. Just start changing, shifting, and adapting, and do more of what works on LinkedIn, which will increase your reputation. You get an easier high quality score. You will be continued display. You can engage with the people. You get the virality index. The content is good. If not, filtered, and you lose the reach. That is the basic cycle that we have to keep things on. That means, in essence, increase the engagement over time. You can reactivate posts again and again. If somebody likes it, or you tag somebody in the comment and they like that post, and then it gets reshared to their network. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So the main thing, yeah, well, let's go back for a moment.
At this point, would it make more sense to, for example, tag people when you post it, or tag them over a period of time so it stays kind of like viral?
I guess that's do both if you have the sanity to do it. I don't. I do the tagging at the beginning, but I can't keep up with like dripping my comments and tags over time. But I guess that would be even more advantageous. Yeah, to keep posts, especially the ones when you know you have a winner. When you see, for example, in the page stats, oh, high click-through rate, high engagement rate, keep that one alive for a while. Test that if that works for you. But otherwise, the work involved would be, for me, too crazy. Okay, so that begs the question, how do I get higher engagement rates? Yeah, and we're going to look through some interesting ways to get there. The main idea is to make it completely about your customer. Yes, people, it works, like posting like an award you have won on LinkedIn, it works amazing, but still make 80% of your posts about your customer, their issues, solutions for them, not about you being the hero. This is what I said meant in the video. If you saw the trailer, be Luke, not Yoda. Be Yoda, not Luke. I'm sorry. Like, you don't want to be the protagonist of the story. You want to make your customer the protagonist of the story. The customer always is in this situation. They are here and they want to get somewhere there. We have this landlubber who wants to become a real pirate captain. Yeah, but there are problems in his way. And these problems distract him from or hurt him from actually getting to that goal. And it's your job to show them how to solve those problems with your solution and your content. For me, it's always stuff like, I didn't have a website, I didn't have enough traffic, I don't have a funnel, I don't have enough revenue. If I can solve those problems for my audience on LinkedIn, they're gonna have a really high engagement rate. And you have to think about, where's your customer currently? What are their issues? And where do they want? And how can I help them get there? Yeah, we talked about that a lot during the last content marketing storytelling, so I don't want to go too deep into that. The best book I have found on this is Building a Storing Brand from Donald Miller. Who has read this so far? Is it good? Yeah, I wasn't into this whole storytelling thing before I read it. It's such a clear framework, so it's a highly recommended book. It's not the only good book out there, but it's the one that I felt has given me the most value. And the basic premise is this. Every story is based on the same framework. You have a character like Luke Skywalker, and he has a problem. The evil empire is after him. Killed his parents, poor guy. Then he meets a guide like Yoda. And these guides, Yoda and Obi-Wan, give him a plan. Like, trust the Force. Go with your instinct. And, very important, he calls them to action. Fight the evil empire. And then consequences. Luke, if you succeed, you're going to be able to destroy the Death Star. But not if you don't. If you fail, then the rebellion is going to be crushed and the Sith are going to reign the galaxy forever. So this framework basically works for all businesses as well. And he put it in a free tool at mystorybrand.com. And I redo this a couple of times every year. And I really define who is the character, who is in my core audience, what is the problem they have. And he has some nice subcategories to sort them in. And how I can position myself as a guide with empathy and authority, you need both, and give them a very clear plan, and then not forget to call them to action, to actually go here. A transitional call to action example would be come to the meetups. A direct call to action would be join one of our full day workshops. Yeah? And then what do they get in the end? How does success look like for your customer? And how does failure look like? And this all transfers into a nice character transformation story. And now your content marketing is done. You look at this thing and say like, what am I going to post first? Which problem do I want to talk about? Which challenges? Which parts of the plan do I want to talk about now? Do I want to talk about the positive consequences or the negative consequences? Each item is an absolutely fantastic baseline or starting point for an article, a video, or even just a simple post. Fill that out for you, and you have the quality stuff of content marketing solved. Now let's go into the more hacky quantity stuff, okay? But if this is not working, yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of hacks you're doing. If you're not resonating with your audience, you don't get reach. You don't get conversions. So, but this is a really high recommended resource. So, in summary of this part, everything from the quality side of LinkedIn content marketing needs to be about your audience and not put yourself in the position as the hero. Let the customer be the hero, make it all about what they want to hear. Yeah, and then add what you think, what they need to hear as well.